Yeah, hi again. This is John of the Titanic. This is how I made the display cabinet. The basic cabinet was made from IKEA stuff, and then pieces were built on. I decided to make a seascape, so I painted the back of the cabinet to see how it would look. But it wasn't quite what I wanted. It looked okay, but not quite. So I then made some lines on the wall and side walls so I could paint a horizon all the way along. And this is how it came, with three sides of the cabinet painted. Yep, I used the original plinth that we'd used for Titanic all along, put it in the cabinet, and yeah, it looked okay, but I decided no, I wanted to make a full seascape. I wanted to see in front as well. Before I did that, I put doors on, actually glass doors, so that the thing doesn't get too dusty. I also put lights in so that during the day it looks a little bit like sunlight, and at night it looks a little bit like moonlight. For the front, I decided to use ceiling architrave polystyrene, which I painted using poster paints and emulsion paint, basically, just to make a sort of, again, waves and the sea. It worked quite well. As you can see, there are two lumps, one at each end. They are, in fact, made from epoxy resin, and they produce the bow wave and the rear and the stern wave when it's up against the ship. The red line, that was so that I didn't have to do any more carving. I could just, that actually is the same colour as the hull of the ship. So when it's up in front of it, it looks like the ship is moving slightly up and down on the water. That worked very, very well. I was really pleased with that. I say the bow wave, you can see now, that is made from epoxy resin. The whole thing just goes into the cabinet and slots into some electrical trunking, 1.6 centimetre electrical trunking. That holds the whole thing together once it's put in, but it goes in quite reasonably easily, and then it sits exactly where I want it, and that gives the end effect. I did a little bit more painting to try and make it look a little bit more realistic. I've got to be honest, art was my worst subject at school, as you can probably see, but there you go. It looks okay. The cabinet here is shown empty. We can actually put other models in there. So that's it. That's the end. Thank you very much for watching.